Okay, so let's get right into it. Your body is about to go through a kind of transformation that, pharmaceutical companies would probably charge thousands for. And it all starts with something that's likely sitting in your fridge at this very moment. We are talking about eating 5 whole eggs every single morning for 30 days.
For years, for decades, we've all been told that eggs are basically a cardiovascular time bomb, right? Something you should avoid at all costs. But what if that was completely, totally wrong? What if the very food we were all taught to fear is actually one of the most powerful tools we have for our health? And look, this is not just some theory. A massive research study, I'm talking over 500,000 people, published in a top medical journal, found something absolutely shocking. The people who ate eggs every day, they actually had fewer heart attacks than the people who completely avoided them. So let's take a look at what the science really has to say.
So here's what we're going to cover. We're going to walk through this 30-day transformation week by week. We'll start with the pasture-raised difference, then move into week 1, where hunger disappears. In week 2, your brain wakes up. Week 3 is all about the protein advantage. Week 4, we tackle the cholesterol truth. And finally, we'll talk about the final recalibration.
Okay, so before you even think about cracking a single egg, there's something you absolutely have to understand. And this isn't about, a personal preference. This is about chemistry. The specific type of egg you buy will literally determine whether this whole experiment is a massive success or a total failure.
You walk into any supermarket and you're just bombarded with these labels, right? Cage-free, free range. Honestly, these are mostly just marketing gimmicks. Cage-free can just mean thousands of birds crammed into a warehouse. Free range might just mean there's a tiny door they never even use. The one you actually need is pasture-raised. These are the chickens that actually live like chickens are supposed to, roaming on grass, eating insects, living out in the sun. And the result? You get dramatically higher levels of vitamin D, omega-3s, and that deep orange yolk, which is like a visual signature of just how nutrient-dense it is. All right, let's start the clock. In the very first 7 days, something amazing happens. That constant nagging voice in your head that's always demanding food, it just goes quiet. You know that 3 p.m. crash where you desperately need something sweet? Yeah, that just vanishes. And this isn't about willpower. This is pure biology.
See, most of us live our lives on this insane roller coaster. You eat a bowl of cereal for breakfast, your blood sugar spikes like a rocket. Your pancreas completely panics and floods your system with insulin, which then causes your blood sugar to crash way too low. So what happens? Your body goes into emergency mode, releasing stress hormones, demanding more food, and the whole cycle just starts all over again. It's completely exhausting.
So here's how 5 whole eggs completely rewrite this script. You get this incredible mix of protein and healthy fat that sends a powerful signal straight to your brain through a hormone called peptide YY that says, hey, we're full, we're satisfied. Your insulin stays nice and stable, and maybe for the first time in a long time, your body can finally tap into its own fat reserves for steady, all-day energy.
Okay, let's move into week 2. This is where things start to build. Now, the transformation shifts from your body up to your brain. This is where that brain fog you didn't even know you had starts to lift, and things get really interesting. The magic ingredient here is a nutrient most people have never even heard of: choline. Your brain uses it to make something called acetylcholine, which is the key neurotransmitter for focus, for memory, for concentration. If you've ever read the same sentence 5 times or walked into a room and totally forgot why you were there, you have felt what low acetylcholine feels like. And eggs are the richest natural source of choline on the entire planet.
So eating 5 eggs a day is giving you this massive dose of choline. And the feeling people describe, it's like a fog is just lifting from their mind. It's not just about having more energy. It's about having a sharper, clearer mind. You are essentially upgrading your brain's entire operating system.
And there are actually 2 other really cool things happening here. The DHA omega-3s you get in pasture-raised eggs are literally rebuilding the insulation around your neurons. Think of it like the coating on a wire, making your brain signals faster and clearer. At the very same time, these antioxidants, lutein and zeaxanthin, are building up in your retinas, and they act like internal sunglasses, protecting your eyes from all that blue light damage from our screens. Okay, week 3. Now we've got to talk about why the 30 grams of protein you get from 5 whole eggs is just worlds apart from what you'd get in some typical protein shake. It really all comes down to quality and how usable it is. So this comes down to something called biological value, which is just a fancy way of measuring how much of the protein you eat your body can actually use to build and repair tissue. Now, with a whey protein shake, your body might only use about 17% of it. The rest, it's just wasted. But with whole eggs, your body can utilize nearly half of every single gram. It is the most efficient protein source on Earth.
So why is this such a big deal? Well, because after we hit age 30, we all start losing muscle mass. It's a process called sarcopenia. And this isn't about vanity. This is about survival. Maintaining your muscle is absolutely crucial for staying strong and independent as you get older. And high-quality, usable protein is your #1 weapon against it.
And that brings us to week 4. And it is time to face the big one, the cholesterol myth. This is probably where your friends and family might start getting a little worried, but it's all based on decades of just plain outdated science.
Here's the reality that most people just don't know. Your own liver produces between 1 and 3,000 milligrams of cholesterol every single day. So why would it do that? Because you literally can't live without it. It is essential for building your cell membranes, and this is a big one, for making your hormones. Your body is smart. If you eat more dietary cholesterol, it just makes less. If you eat less, it makes more. It knows how to self-regulate.
So think of it like this. When your arteries get inflamed, maybe from stress or poor diet, your body sends cholesterol to that site to repair the damage. The cholesterol is the patch. It's not the problem. Blaming cholesterol for heart disease is like blaming the ambulance for the car crash just because it's always there at the scene.
And, even bad cholesterol isn't that simple. There are actually 2 types of LDL. You've got the small, dense particles. Those are the ones that can cause problems. But then you also have large, fluffy LDL particles, which are totally harmless. Well, the healthy fats and cholesterol from whole foods like pasture-raised eggs actually shift your profile away from those dangerous small particles and toward the large, safe, fluffy ones.
You want to know what's a much better predictor of heart problems? It's an inflammatory molecule called homocysteine. High levels of that are a real red flag. And what does your body need to clear out that homocysteine? Well, it needs the B vitamins and the choline found in their most bioavailable form in, you guessed it, pasture-raised eggs.
So, after a month of rebuilding your body and brain from the inside out, there is one last crucial piece of the puzzle. You can actually destroy every single benefit we've just talked about if you cook your eggs the wrong way.
See, the amazing nutrients in the yolk are really sensitive to high heat. So if you blast your eggs until they're gray and rubbery, you've oxidized the cholesterol and destroyed the vitamins. The goal is always to keep the yolk soft. For scrambled eggs, use low heat, stir them gently, and pull them off the heat the second soft curds start to form. They should look like custard, soft, creamy, and rich. And there you have it. After 1 full month, your body has gone through a complete recalibration. Your insulin sensitivity and your hunger signals have normalized. Your brain has been flooded with the building blocks it needs for focus, your hormonal system has the raw materials it needs to thrive, and you've actively reduced inflammation. This isn't a diet, it's a return to how your biology was always designed to operate. You've sent a powerful signal to your entire body to build, to repair, and to thrive. So the only question left really is, for your breakfast tomorrow, is it going to be soft-boiled or scrambled?